Welcome, everyone.
We're live at 5. I'm Paul Wontorek.
I'm Beth Stevens.
We are here at Broadway.com. We're a little late. We're sorry. We're a little late. Sometimes there's like technical issues, but worth the wait because we have an amazing guest who's here staring at us, taking pictures of us right now, Beth.
He is Bobby Conte Thornton from A Bronx Tale.
Who we love. He's awesome.
He's awesome.
And we're not starting late because like he was getting here late because he's such a professional.
His fault. Well,
he would never.
Him. We should have blamed him.
And I'm not being sarcastic. He literally wasn't.
He's been watching us for a long time, just staring at us. It's good. It's all good.
It was a mic issue. Anyway, Beth, what's up? Is there any news? Not much news.
There's not much news, but it's important news because we have a Broadway opening tonight.
Oh, right.
Marvin's Room is opening tonight, so happy opening, Marvin's Room. Janine Garofalo making her Broadway debut.
Who is Marvin?
Marvin's the dad.
Oh.
Marvin's the dad. Everybody knows that. Marvin's the dad.
Okay. Do they show his room in the play? I haven't seen it yet.
Not really.
They don't show the room. Oh.
I mean, it's not a spoiler. I don't think. It's not. Okay. We don't have to talk about the cast. Great cast. Janine Garofalo, Lily Taylor, Celia Weston.
Yeah.
Good people. Good people. So happy opening to them. This is our last Live at 5 until July. So I wanted to also say.
Oh my God! How dramatic.
Speeding by. So I just want to say also on Monday, Ingrid Michaelson and Oak are starring in The Great Comet. So get ready for that.
Oh, can I brag a little bit? I got to go. Okay. I got to go on Tuesday and watch Ingrid Michaelson rehearse. Sonia Alone.
Fancy.
That's the name of the song, right? She was phenomenal. I got to talk to her. She's such a weirdo. I love her. She's great.
Weirdo. Nice.
Yeah, she's just great. She's from Staten Island.
Really?
Yeah, she's like a real New York girl. And you know, I first met her through Will Chase. Will Chase is her boyfriend.
Right. And
she's going to be amazing, you guys, because I got to hear like the entire song. And I know you're jealous, based on my Twitter comments. But you can see it too, because tomorrow on the Broadway.com show, you'll get a little taste.
A little sneak peek.
A little taste of her Sonia. Yeah.
That's awesome.
So anyway, I just wanted to brag about that.
So we found out who the creative team is for M. Butterfly, which is coming up to the Court Theater October 7th.
Great play.
Great play. David Henry Hwang.
Can we talk about the fact, though, that it's interesting? We talked about this before. So it was first done in the 80s, right? I think 88.
Yes.
88.
That's correct.
It won Best
Tony.
Play.
Yes, it did.
The same year that Phantom won Best Musical, and Into the Woods won Book and Score.
Okay.
And Joanna Gleason won.
And you're not over it
at all. It was a big year.
We're not over it.
Michael Crawford won. It was a big year.
There's a lot going on for you right now.
It was a big year for me. Like, that was like really like.
We're never going to get to Bobby.
Peak. It was like a peak year.
No,
yeah, we are.
I'm just kidding.
But there's like a big secret in the show that a lot of people.
First you asked me about Marvin's Room, and now you're asking me about the secret and M. Butterfly?
I'm not. We're not revealing anything, but I'm saying M. Butterfly, like the whole thing sort of revolves around a secret. And when it first came out, I don't feel like anyone knew the secret. And now it's going to be interesting whether or not people know secrets when they go in.
Depends how old you are.
It's just interesting to me that, like, you know, it's now, because now it's like a play, one of the great plays,
That's
right?
So it's a revival.
It's, like it's almost a classic. It's a classic, but it doesn't get produced that much.
A modern classic.
But Julie Taymor, man, she's going to style that up.
Speaking of Julie Taymor.
Yeah, she's the director.
She's the director.
Go ahead, so it's a segue for you.
Thank you for the segue. Her longtime partner.
Elliot
Goldenthal.
Yes.
Her life partner, I should say, not like a business partner.
Life
but
partner.
That too. He's going to compose music.
Because that's what he does for Julie Taymor shows.
Right, and for Frida, and movies.
And movies. Oh yeah, all the movies, yeah.
And had an Oscar nomination out of that. But also choreography by Ma Kong, scenic design by Paul Steinberg, costume design by Constance Hoffman, lighting design by Donald Holder, and sound design, which is a thing that we should be paying attention to. Thank you, Bobby Conte Thornton. Will Pickens is the sound designer. So that, once again, begins at the Court Theater on October 7th.
And the original production was a stunning design, so I'm curious to see what the new vision is.
Well, it's a Julie Taymor situation, so I'm not worried about design. She knows design.
It's going to be gorgeous.
It's going to be something to see.
I can't wait.
So that's the big news of the day. There isn't a lot of news today,
okay.
But there's small, interesting nuggets.
Like what else? Give me a nugget.
I'm going to give you a nugget. Are you ready?
Give me a chicken nugget.
Jonathan Groff.
Yeah, we like him.
Friend of Broadway.com. Can we say that?
Sure.
Hi, John. I'm sure you're watching.
He wouldn't argue,
He's going to do 5 performances of something called The Bobby Darin Story at the 92nd Street Y, which has their lyrics and lyricist series. So he's going to do.
It's not like a show. It's like a concert, right?
It's a concert.
Oh, okay.
But he's going to be doing his Bobby Darin thing. It's a good max. It's a good match.
Kevin Spacey did that thing.
That's a movie. That's different. So, but also the leadership of that series is now Ted Chapin, the Tony-winning producer.
Yeah.
So that's pretty cool. Also in that series will be Rob Fisher and Amanda Green, Lynn Ahrens, and tributes to Irving Berlin and Frank Lesser, which I now know how to pronounce. Thank you. So a couple of other things. We have a new Christine Daae and Madame Giry in the Phantom Tour.
Okay.
That is Eva Tavares. I hope I'm pronouncing your name correctly, and Kirsty Dale Sanders are going to be joining the tour.
I want to know about the Love Never Dies tour. Who's
Okay,
doing
I don't
that?
have any information
Okay,
about that.
I'm just
But if I get some, I'll tell
same
you.
world. I thought maybe. Nope.
Hal Prince is going to be everywhere next
Everywhere?
fall, like everywhere. He's going to be probably
He's going to
in
be
here.
at the Samuel J. Friedman
He's going to
a
be
lot.
sitting right here, glasses up here. It's going to happen. I can feel it. He is going to be an honoree for the Dramatists Guild Fund's big gala on November 6th.
Okay,
So
but
get
what's
your
the other big thing he's doing?
Prince of Broadway.
Right, well, I just wanted to make sure they got that.
I thought you were like quizzing me, and but I got it right. It's good. Okay, listen to this. There's a new musical called Headless. Have you heard of this? Headless?
Nope.
No?
Oh, I have. I think.
Oh, no, you
no,
haven't.
just go ahead. No, I
No,
read
you
about it on
haven't.
Broadway.com.
Oh, you read about it? Well,
Sometimes I read.
for those of you who haven't gotten to the full story yet.
Doesn't our friend Reeve Carney have something to do with it?
Yes, correct. So there will be a developmental workshop. That's always like a really good thing to have in Beverly Hills. Very fancy.
What?
July 6th through the 23rd.
Can we fly out for that next week?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm ready. A modern Gothic rock opera ghost story that revisits Washington Irving's The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. Now, that in itself sounds like Reeve Carney, doesn't it? He's perfect for that.
They had to
So
get him.
It's got Reeve Carney, Scott Porter, Tamira Gray, Emma Hunton. Also, oh, I heard a little,
Yeah, yeah.
oh, like a
She's
buzz.
in-
There's a buzz
She's in Freaky
happening.
Friday, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm going to say yes. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, there's a Q&A from London with F. Murray Abraham, who is in The Mentor.
Wait, can I tell a funny
Wanna
story
listen?
about us? Because you just said Emma Hunton, and it reminded me of, what do you think it reminded me of?
Okay.
I knew
All
you
right.
were
We're
gonna
going to
know.
tell you some Broadway.com
I
history.
knew you were going to know.
Of course I know. The very first time we covered the Tony Awards in 2000. We're very old.
I thought it was the year of Millie. It was
2003.
a couple years later.
Okay,
Yeah,
it wasn't the very
okay.
first one. The 2003 or 2?
3.
I was on the red carpet.
Bobby,
We were on the red
2.
carpet
Bobby
together.
says 2. He knows
Was
everything.
it 2 that they won? Okay.
Deep cut. I mean, serious?
I mean, if we're not going to have a live at 5 until
It's a
next
good story,
Wednesday.
though. We're getting at it. We're getting to it.
We were on the red carpet together. I was asking the questions. You were running the
And
camera.
everyone was talking about Sutton Foster because she was the big talk of Broadway.
And her brother was in Urinetown, which Millie was up against Urinetown. Bobby knows everything. He's a
Yeah,
theater
the history.
historian.
Yeah,
And I asked Cheetah Rivera, who's a legend,
who we love.
who she was rooting for. And what did she say?
What'd she say? Didn't she go?
She said Sutton. No.
Hutton.
Hutton. No.
Hutton. Sutton.
Sutton.
Hutton.
And
Hutton.
she landed on Hutton.
Hutton.
But I don't care because I love
so
you,
when
Cheetah.
she said Emma
I love you,
Hunton,
Cheetah.
I just
And I knew what he meant.
Wow.
And this is a complete waste of
we've
everyone's
been working
time.
together way too long.
At any rate, F. Murray Abraham.
I think Cheetah would now know her name.
Oh, I think
Yeah,
so.
I think yeah.
She's probably going to win a Cheetah Rivera Award next time she comes to Broadway.
Cheetah Rivera Awards. I think Sutton has some. Oh no, wait. Do the Astaire Award winners? Do they now have Cheetah Rivera Awards?
No.
Oh.
I
Okay.
don't- they're not going back and changing.
So now Sutton has
forty-
another award she has to win.
Mhm.
She has to win a Cheetah Rivera Award.
That's correct.
Something to work on, Sutton. Hutton. Sutton. All right, we
Okay.
almost done.
There's also a new vlog from Jen Colella of Come From Away.
Okay.
That is the last thing I need to say to you.
Oh.
Does this happen when you do this with other people? No, it does not. We don't waste time when you do this with Andy Lefkowitz, for example.
We're going to take a little break.
I
and
need
then we'll
one.
be back with Bobby Conte Thornton of A Bronx Tale.
It's 3 a.m. in the Bronx, New York. I'm on the corner of 187th and Belmont Avenue. This was my neighborhood. This is A Bronx Tale.
Hey guys, we are back at Live at 5. We are live with Broadway star Bobby Conte Thornton. Is it nice to hear, like, to hear yourself called?
That's just crazy.
Hey, you're a Broadway star.
That's
from A BRONX
crazy to hear.
Tale. You are fantastic.
Thank you.
We adore
Thank
you.
Paul. I really appreciate
How's life? How's your summer?
Life's great.
Life's
Summer's
good.
amazing.
Yeah.
I walk through Central Park almost every day to get to work. I'm very, very lucky.
Nice. It's a nice
Very
commute.
Yes.
So you take in the nature.
Yeah,
Take a
and
risk.
get sunburn and all that.
Do you?
I have to get tan because I'm playing in Italian. I have to make
Right.
sure I sort of keep a complexion.
Right. 'Cause you have a very like creamy skin. Like the tone of your skin is very like. Do you tan? Do you burn?
I burn and then it turns into a nice tan.
Oh,
You know
yeah,
what I mean?
okay.
It doesn't. There's a nice progression to it.
Right. Right. Everyone wanted to know. It's a burning question. But yeah, so this is a great album, by the way. Do you listen to this album? Do you wake up to it? Is it
Yeah,
on your,
I don't.
you don't listen to it?
I think because I sing it every day. I did in the beginning just because it's sort of unbelievably balanced and mixed.
Yeah.
It's almost mixed like a pop album
Yeah.
versus a quote unquote musical theater album.
Yeah.
Because we have Tommy Mottola, music
Wow,
mogul,
wow.
like producing our album.
Wow, I
It's
didn't
just-
even realize that.
it's
That's
just
amazing.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
But no, now because I do the show every day, I need to
Right.
have a little bit of removal.
Right. So the show opened when? In the fall, right?
In November.
Okay, in
last
November.
year.
So you're into the run.
Yeah.
People are liking it. It's going. And so what's it like? Are you getting into the rhythm of it? This is like obviously probably the longest
Oh,
run
absolutely.
of your career,
Yes.
right? I mean, you're young.
Yes.
You're a little boy.
I'm
yeah. I mean, there'll be many more long runs, but this is like a first for you. So is that weird when you're an actor to figure that out? I mean, you knew that was sort of part of the gig, but what's it like actually doing that for the first time?
Yeah, it's finding a way to keep things fresh. I was talking from it's finding spontaneity and structure is a weird thing because
Yeah.
you have your marks you're supposed to hit. You have your things that you have to do, especially in a musical, is much more technical than I'd say many plays would be. I say that at the same time though. I look at Oslo and I'm like, that must be the most technically and well-crafted, blocked thing and mechanically put together thing than any musical.
Right.
But it's that means you can still be alive. You can still be open to spontaneity and inspiration and just listening to what
Yeah.
your other is giving you. Naturally, if you say something a certain way, I can only naturally react in
Right.
that moment if we're
Right.
truly listening.
Right.
But you still need to do what you've been told by higher ups. You still need to make sure it fits in a craft that we've presented that hopefully is resonating with an audience.
Right.
And that's something I've never had to experience really because the longest run I've ever done was 2-3 months.
Right.
So it's when we luckily have really great people on the cast that we
Yeah.
can just have fun with.
Yeah.
And find new things.
Do you ever? People love to hear this on Live at 5. Do you screw up? Are there mishaps? Do you find yourself sometimes you're like, oh my god, I wasn't in the moment enough and I got like thrown off?
Or sometimes you're so in it and you're like, I can't remember any of my lines.
Really?
I
Does
can't
that happen to
remember
you?
any of my lines. Oh, totally.
Really?
You go blank and you just go,
What do you do?
And it comes out and something happens.
Something
The
happens.
best mishap that happened a couple months ago, the show, this is not a spoiler, the show begins with a murder, with Sonny shooting this
Yes.
guy twice in front of little young closure. And one show, the gun didn't go off. And
great.
there's a backup gun backstage as well in case that, and neither blanks went off. So he's shooting, and the guy who's with a bat is just ad-libbing for his life. And so Nick Cordero, like a champ, comes over and he like Vulcan nerve pinches the guy's neck and kills him that way. And the whole show is predicated on this gun violence and death. And the policeman comes out and he has a line saying, "Come here, kid. You think you can point out the guy who pulled the trigger?" And he's like, "You think you can point out the guy who broke his neck?" And we just had to move forward. And it was the weirdest show. And I'm just standing there, just bug-eyed, just what is going on? But that was live theater. And Nick Cordero, like a champ, I thought he was going to go bang, and
Right.
then we were going to do
Right.
it. No,
Right.
he
I
just
love it.
mauled him, and it was unbelievable.
I love it. I love that a few minutes ago you referenced Oslo because to me that sort of says a lot about you. You're a big theater. We joked about you being like a theater historian, and I can talk to you about like Broadway. You really know your stuff. Like
Yeah.
you're like a super fan.
I'm a nerd.
And you're like
I'm
a
a
super
total nerd.
super Broadway nerd.
Yeah.
And now you're like a part of it.
Right.
So that's weird. That has to be weird that when you go from like being a nerd looking at it, and then you're like,
To being in
wait,
the middle of it.
I have an album, and I'm on the front of a house, and I walk by the theater every day. I see you out there.
Yeah.
You know, it's a mix of Jersey Boys and West Side Story. I don't know if
That's
you knew that.
I
A winning
don't know if I've
combination
seen
of
that quote
that
anywhere
quote.
else.
I love that quote.
I don't know. I don't know, man. No, but I know what you mean. It's anytime I really think about it, I get emotional about it. It's very surreal because it's all I ever wanted as a kid.
Yeah.
And so suddenly, you're in a position where you've gotten everything you thought you wanted at 24.
Yeah.
That's weird. So suddenly you have to start dreaming new dreams,
Yeah, new
and,
dreams.
and meeting sort of just extraordinary people
Yeah.
that you, of course, are always going to see first and foremost as a fan,
Mm-hmm.
but suddenly you can be a colleague, and equal is maybe the wrong word, but we can discuss as professionals in the business
Yeah.
together. And that's just surreal.
So who's like the dream big? Who's like the big creative person you would love to like go out for dinner one night after the show and just talk?
I mean,
as-
you guys were talking about Hal Prince earlier
Yeah.
in the show. I mean, Hal Prince
Hal
would
Prince.
be right up there. I think
Yeah.
Steve Sondheim would be right up there.
yeah, that'd be up there. These are big.
Yeah, if
these
we're
are
gonna, if we're gonna
A-list
dream
choices.
big, we're just gonna
Do
go
you have like a
big.
B-list choice?
Do you have anything that's maybe a little bit more?
I'm sure they both thought that dinner with you. You know,
Oh my God, yeah. There was this whole. We were at this award show together in Connecticut.
oh yeah, we were at the Connecticut Critics Circle Awards.
I call them the CCCs, but you're. Much
Yeah, I didn't
more
know that was like
fancier
the
than me.
thing. I found out after. But well, let me talk. You were saying he's this very talented guy on his night off. You sang for the crowd. The first song was from Last
The
5
first song was
Years,
this
the
cut song from Last 5 Years called "I Could Be in Love with
Yeah,
Someone Like You."
but the host of the CCCs was somebody that kind of freaked you out.
It was Terrence Mann, who was, amongst other things, the original Beast in Beauty and the Beast, the original Javert. He was Saul in Rags. It
Yeah,
was,
we know,
just
yeah.
this
We
unbelievable.
know. Terry Mann.
No, and I only
3-time nominees.
I recently just did a workshop of Rags where they retooled his role to make it an Italian.
I know, and you
film.
sang like one of my favorite songs, "Wanting," right?
Wanting.
From Rags. Great song. Look
It's,
it up.
It's amazing, amazing.
Go on
amazing song.
YouTube,
Terrence
kids.
Mann. But it's Terrence Mann. The first Broadway show I ever saw was Beauty and the Beast, and so when I was a
With
kid,
him in it.
with him in it,
Yeah.
and it was. I have no doubt you have this person in your life as well. That
Were you a
is-
toddler?
I was like 3.
Yeah, toddler.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
a baby. And there were no other kid shows on Broadway at the time. So I
I
just
remember
kept going
that.
back to before Lion King came.
I
it was
remember
like
Beauty and the Beast was the only game in
Phantom
town.
was sort of terrifying. Cats within the audience freaked me out. So I was like, I just want to go see Beauty and the Beast again. So I saw that. I probably saw that show 8 times
Wow.
as a child. And because my grandparents are from Milan, so anytime we'd be lucky enough to come to New York, I'd be like, let's go see Beauty.
Oh, that's cute.
But Terrence Mann was the voice I tried to emulate as a child. If that was the first cast
Yeah.
recording I ever listened to. As I grew up, it's the career that I ever wanted. I played Javert when I was in college. He's now an educator and runs a theater company in Connecticut.
Yeah.
He has a wife and a family. Like he has
Yeah.
sort of the life you would want of someone in this industry.
Right.
And I got to just chill out with him.
And you
for a couple hours.
sang.
And
Stop. You sang the song.
I sang "If I Can't Love Her" that Act 1 finale.
That was so good.
And
And then, can I say what happened after?
Sure.
Terrence Mann came out and bowed down to him.
But I tried to bow
Like literally
lower
got
to
on the
him.
floor and bowed down to him, because that's how amazing it was.
It was an amazing moment.
Would you play the Beast like just for fun because of that connection?
I'm
Like, would
waiting
you
for
wanna do
like
the
I'm
revival?
waiting for like the cool avant-garde take on like
Oh,
Beauty
the-
and the
like-
Beast.
like
Like
where you're
John
not- you're
Doyle,
not dressed
actor
as a beast.
musicians, Beauty and the Beast.
And you're not wearing like a beast costume.
That's
You're
right. It's all for the audience.
Or
to
just like
imagine.
one streak of something. Like,
Like when Steve Pasquale was in Raw Bridegroom, it's just like
yeah,
one streak
yes,
of berry
yes. That's what I was.
juice,
That's
like,
totally what I was
makes-
referencing. Yeah, just like a little piece of fur, just like attached to
That's-
part of your face.
That's absolutely.
Why don't
it.
we just direct it?
Please?
Yeah.
Let's make that happen.
Do you happen to know Alan Menken?
Hi,
You
hi,
do.
hi, Alan, hi, Alan, and that's another surreal, weird circle moment thing that the first Broadway show I ever saw was an Alan Menken musical, and
Yeah.
the first Broadway show is an Alan Menken musical.
I know.
So it's very cool.
This is a really random question, but I'm just going to throw it out there.
Yes.
Elliot wants to know, what makes A Bronx Tale different from other musicals?
What makes A Bronx Tale different than other?
Well, what do you
musicals?
think makes it special, or what do you think makes it?
I think it's a story from an outside point of view that you wouldn't really think could. It seems authentic for people to break out into song.
Right.
It's characters that seem very sort of gritty and grounded and very surreal for them to be in a very heightened state of emotion that requires singing. And I think the way that it's been structured by Chaz, who did this as a one-man show back in
Yeah.
'89 and made a movie and has
Yeah,
somehow been able,
Palminteri.
Chaz
Yeah.
Palminteri, who I'm essentially
I know
playing.
first name basis with these people,
sorry.
Bobby, Chaz, I
Mr.
know,
Mr. Chaz
Alan,
Palminteri.
but let's make sure they know.
Yes. You're
Yeah,
right.
I'm sorry,
You're
go ahead.
absolutely right. But has removed himself enough to understand what he has to do for this medium, musical theater, and how he has to make this material malleable, and it is malleable.
Yeah.
And I think if people come in with an open mind, I actually think the stakes are very high enough to legitimize breaking out into song. And all the music doesn't seem, it is great musical theater songs, but it's almost pastiche 1960s funk, doo-wop, pop. It doesn't seem like you're sort of broken out and suddenly in Aladdin or in Little Shop of Horrors, even though there's a little bit of Little Shop influence in it. I think we have just amazing people that put it together.
You know what I love about it? I'm sorry, what were you going to say? No, you're going to say.
It's just like it's every hero of mine is on this creative team. You know what I mean?
Every hero is listed right here.
Chaz Momentary.
No, what I love about it is all the tough guys in the audience crying.
Sure.
I love like looking over and you just see like you know the like trying to just dry it without like the the guy in the audience with the tear.
Yeah.
Because people get really moved by it, right?
It's a lot of people that come to the show, I think, are from not only the Bronx, but the tri-state area and the suburbs of New York, and it feels like their story. So they feel like they have a sense of ownership over it. Yeah. It's really lovely.
Okay. What Abigail wants to know, what's the best gift you've received at the stage door? Do you get gifts?
I've gotten some amazing fan art and drawings.
Oh, people love
which has been amazing. And so, thank you guys. That's so cool. I haven't gotten any gifts.
Fan art's crazy.
Not so
what do you
much.
Want? What do you want?
There is a fan that came from Australia, and she gave me a little stuffed koala bear with an Australian flag. That was very cool.
That's sweet. How do you keep up your stamina to do a full 8-show-a-week schedule? Is that tough?
Yeah.
Do you live like a monk?
It just sucks. It sucks, guys. But in the beginning, I was living like a monk. I was going home and sort of shining it down, and it is a difficult singing role, but it's just the amount of yelling and the amount of it's the lack of offstage time that really does me, and the lack of ability to just be hydrated sort of gets to me. But now we're 7 months in. My body has sort of figured out what it has to do. So now it's been great to be able to make sure I could see my friends, see my cast, go out for a drink, make sure I'm a human, because that'll only help you as an actor. I think the more hermity you become, if my job is to talk to an audience for 2 hours and I'm not doing that in real life, I'm not going to be very good at my job. Yeah. There has to be a balance of making sure that I'm taking care of myself. Right. But the more I'm able to just experience as a human being, I will be a better human being on stage.
Of course. This is a good question. I mean, we're running out of time. I could just sit here and talk to you forever. But Jane Lynn, good name, wants to know, what parts of the show do you think are better in the musical than the movie? Are there certain things that you think actually maybe work better? Because
I think I can speak to the things that have been added for the musical that are not in the movie.
Sure, you can go that route.
Like, is that a pageant?
Don't want to piss off Chaz.
Is that a pageant answer? Is that a pageant answer? I don't know if I'm giving things away, but it's during one of the great ones when my parents come out. That sort of nice silhouette, I think, is not really existed in the movie. If you come see the show, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Yep.
I think you know what song I really love and has evolved throughout the rehearsal process was when Nicky Machiavelli, that Nick sings, when he's talking about his sort of mindset.
Nick Cordero.
In a previous workshop, I was told it was a monologue, and then they made it a song, and then they made the wise guys sort of come in and be his backup in this really corny way as he's being very real and honest with me. Yeah. I think it works in that context really well, and it. I think you're able to retain things if it comes from a musical setting than from a talking setting. Yep. So I think that works really, really well.
Lisa said, you gotta love articulate actors. Really enjoying this interview. And it's true.
Wow.
You are an articulate actor.
That's very sweet.
And I enjoy talking to you. And
as do I.
I'm thrilled that this show exists, and it's a great showcase for you at the Longacre Theater.
Longacre Theater.
Everyone needs to go see A Bronx Tale. Get the album, too, because great, like, doo-wop stuff. You're at the Little Shop, like some of that.
There, a little shop-esque. Yeah, Alan would be the first to say it's very different than Little Shop.
Yeah, of course.
But it's great doo-wop. There's almost, he was explaining, we have a song called Hurt Someone, which is like their take on the quintet from West Side Story. So there's some nice, cool gems in there.
Yeah, and I love seeing at the Longacre. It's like such a cool, intimate theater. You know what I mean? Like
it's usually a playhouse.
Yeah, I know. It's rare to see a musical there.
We have no pit. Yeah. All our entire band is underneath, is underground in soundproof rooms. Right. So when those towers move forward, I can only imagine if you're in the front row, you must be going like this. And I apologize to anyone in the front row for the amount of spit that I.
They don't mind.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, Bobby Conte Thornton. He's in A Bronx Tale. Go see him. We will be back Well, happy 4th of July.
Happy 4th of July.
Everybody. Happy 4th of July, everybody. We will not be here again until the 5th of July, which is also a great play, which I'm sure you knew because you know
The
theater
5th of
history.
July.
Thank you for being
I
here,
know
Bobby.
everything.
It's
though.
good to see you.
Good to see you, Paul.
And give me a handshake. And everyone go see the show and have a great holiday, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.